Kenny S is the AWP.
The fast pushes from Titan have been called and found out, but there's Kenny S with 2, and a 3rd as well, and a 4th! Unbelievable play from Kenny, and he gets the ace!
By 2014, Kenny S was one of the biggest names in CSGO, thanks to his unique AWPing playstyle and his natural talent.
If he commits that bomb plant, he is not living.
He was the player everyone loved. If you played any CSGO at all, you wanted to be just like Kenny.
But that kill coming back to NBK opens up the plant potential. Watch Kenny drop down. Hits exist up close, and it's Get Right versus Kenny. What a tantalizing 1v1 spotted up. Oh, Kenny! That is unbelievable!
But the years haven't been kind to Kenny S. After becoming one of the most iconic players in Counter-Strike and hitting milestones that most pros can only dream of, he started to feel himself slipping, and the losses piled up.
I knew what people were expecting from me. I know what I'm expecting from myself, but I could not be.
His natural talent was still undeniable, but just talent wasn't gonna cut it anymore.
I'm known for being for being good, but also for being pretty lazy and relying on my talents only, which I did pretty much my entire career.
Kenny S was once on top of the world. Now, no one's even willing to roll the dice on him. So we had to ask, what happened to Kenny S? Kenny S was never your typical AWPer. See, the AWP is a substantial investment for any team. It's expensive and it doesn't give you a lot of money back for using it. You can't really use it up close, and if you miss your first shot, you're basically dead in a lot of situations. Plus, if you die and give a free AWP to your opponents, things get really bad really fast.
There's no way, Kaden, you can't win Pro League like this! You can't win Pro League like this! No way! Calling well above his years, clearing corners. Oh no! You're an animal! Heroic have done it, and I just can't believe it!
But while other players shielded their precious AWPs from harm like it was their first ever car, Kenny S drove his like he stole it.
Kenny, he's inside of this smoke. He's trying to play clever with this AWP, and he's got one. No! No way, Kenny! You gotta stop! Take it away from him. There's no way to shut him down up close today.
Even though AWP players are known for being like holding angles and wait, no, I don't do that because it's kind of boring, and I don't want to wait like 1 minute on an angle. I've been over-aggressive because of that, so I kind of push the limits of the weapon.
Kenny S defined aggro AWP play for a generation of CS fans. He was more than just a pro. He was a god.
Gets finished off. Here comes Kenny S. Oh my god, Kenny S with 3 insane kills.
Kenny S's plays inspired pub stars everywhere to slap a Kenny S sticker, often a very expensive one, on their gun of choice. Kenny just had a feel for the game, a natural talent, the kind you can't teach. But he did develop it, and Kenny credits not only CS, but plenty of other games for teaching him how to snipe.
I didn't learn quickscoping on 1.6. On Source, I actually learned it on 1.6, Day of Defeat, Team Fortress 2, that kind of games, you know. This is where I actually learned to play AWP.
In the early days of CSGO, Kenny's aggressive approach just worked. He wasn't exactly running around like it was deathmatch, but no one was using the AWP like him.
Oh my goodness, so much damage done here by Kenny S. Another frag found, and again Kenny S.
I knew for a fact that first of all they were scared of me, and the fact that people are scared of you, like it can happen when Simple is on the clutch nowadays. It's much easier for you. It gives you more space and it gives you confidence.
Kenny's reign of terror was about to come to an end though. Valve decided that the mobile up-close AWP style he invented was not going to last. The 2015 AWP nerf slowed Kenny's iconic style of play down to a crawl. For Kenny, it was an obstacle, but one he says he overcame quickly.
When it comes to the mechanics of the game, I understand them very quickly. So yes, I had time to adapt. I was picking and shooting at walls at the beginning because it was a bit too slow for me. But you know, after a few weeks, I was fine, you know?
And a few months after the nerf, Kenny won the Cluj-Napoca Major, proving to everyone that nerfing the AWP wasn't the same as nerfing Kenny S. So while the AWP nerf presented difficulties, Kenny adjusted. His talent was still enough to keep him on top of the world.
I remember like being on the zone really often at that time. Like, yeah, the zone is a really comfortable place to be. And yeah, I kind of felt unstoppable at the time, whatever the team or the players I was playing against.
CS doesn't change very often, but in the years following Kenny's major win, things shifted a lot. The meta got more structured, and set plays were created by the best teams in the world. Strategy has always been a part of the equation in CS, but the freewheeling style of play that made Kenny famous was getting pushed out in favor of an even more tactical approach. Kenny was so good at CSGO that his natural talent carried him through the early years of the game. But talent only got him so far. As French CS entered another round of roster shuffles, a new powerhouse was emerging in Denmark. Astralis changed how everyone approached the game, thanks to Glaive's unique, almost rigid playstyle.
Their first major, the first time they're in the finals, and their first title, we'll find out because the action's on, and Gabby opens it up, takes down Bialy already!
There's the start, 4 more kills, and they will have made it the full distance. Snacks in an uncomfortable position. He goes down with the max 7, he can't make it happen. Finally, Pasha coming in with a refrag, but he's down. The bomb has been picked up by Dupree. They get the spray, Neil takes one, and Towns is there. And Astralis, they win the first major championship, 16-14 against Virtus.pro. Unbelievable.
Glaive's infamous strategy book quickly filled up with strats and lineups, and Astralis' trophy case filled up just as fast. The Astralis era showed CS players everywhere the potential of structured play. And Astralis' AWPer device proved to Kenny S fans that a slow and steady approach to AWPing could work too.
Device is even here to help out, and that AWP, while it is good for one, they give it the respect to get back to the car. That might be their undoing. The short play now from Twists. Oh, Device reads it in with the flick, burning alive, and the collateral in the flames. The ace for Device, and what a way to put up 14. That is unheard of. Device doing them dirty from the car.
Meanwhile, Kenny S had been swept up in constant French roster shuffles until finally landing on G2 esports in 2017. While Kenny's play was as solid as ever, his results after the major win were uninspiring. Many were hoping that his addition to G2 could turn it into a true French super team. And sure, there were big wins like the ESL Pro League Season 5 finals.
One to go. And there it is. G2 from 1-8 to something absolutely great. They pull this back and a 3-1 win, convincing on Inferno.
But on G2, consistency was the issue for both the team and Kenny. His natural talent for CSGO gave him an early career start in a game that was still being figured out. But talent, as Kenny describes it, can be a double-edged sword.
Because things seems really easy and natural. But at some point, it also gives you some kind of laziness, you know? Sometimes you do the best out of it, and I don't think I took the best out of it.
G2 bombed out of the Krakow Major group stage, and Kenny's enthusiasm was slipping.
I gathered my team that day before the tournament starts, and I said, guys, I'm gonna leave the team after the tournament. I'm gonna get the tournament to think about it. It happens that we won the tournament. I got MVP as well, and I was not even happy about it because I had a really crazy bad feeling mindset, you know?
Maybe things would have been different if Kenny moved on from G2, but he stuck with the org. And while he doesn't regret his loyalty, his choice didn't exactly pay off in terms of results.
Very slowly, and he might just need his match right here, moving into it, misses the shot, will take about 20 damage from the encounter. Oh, and what is that molly bounce? What? That goes up into the vents for some reason there. Kenny now going to push up to the site, but was not ready to take the duel on Mixwell.
But now it's a 1 versus 1. Stewie versus Kenny. The smell of gunfire and freedom in the air, and Stewie picking up that kill. And Cloud9 are in the semi-finals. Oh my God, what a story. They shut down G2 almost flawlessly.
These places can be Molotov. That's a different way to do it. Forcing Rain now into the open. The transfer almost is there. That's one more left for Kenny, but no. Carrigan does it, and FaZe eliminate G2 and make it to playoffs.
At the end of 2018, Kenny S didn't make HLTV's list of the top 20 players in the world for the first time since CSGO came out. While 2018 was a sad year for Kenny S, 2019 was a huge one for the French scene, because they got a new superstar AWPer, ZywOo.
we shouldn't forget the fact that they struggled massively on their T side as well.
Well, they're anticipating banana from the looks of it. Got four over here. It's going to be Zywoo that rings out first.
No way.
Second.
He's had enough.
He's going to keep going through it. He doesn't really care, does
There's
he?
4 here again. He wants them all. Get him out of here.
He's the closer. Into his own hand is Zywoo.
The appearance of a prodigy from his own country seemed to have reinvigorated Kenny S, who had the best year of his career since the early days.
A single stray bullet into the brickwork would catch him, but that doesn't stop Kenny. Reads extra power perfectly and actually goes for another! He's got 3!
A good refrag. There's Kenny dropping the bomb, and oh, what a beautiful repeat. Goes for another one, and he's shutting it all down.
Bomb in the hands of Kenny. That Molotov's not going to land. The smoke was there.
Neo would have gone down for sure. If he throws a Molotov a second later, he gets the kill! What the hell is that from Kenny S? He's back!
But consistency was still lacking. And when esports entered the online era in 2020, it seemed to have an even bigger impact on Kenny than most. And the constant roster shuffles on G2 probably weren't helping either. Even the addition of superstar rifler Nico didn't bring the kind of results you'd expect from 2 of the greatest CSGO players of all time.
But I think I should have just like looked for a new challenge at some point. I don't know when. I don't know if it was after Malmö, if I should have taken a break at that time, all that kind of things. But I know that I'm not the kind of people that can stay passionate by one thing forever. I cannot. It's impossible for me. I played CS for 20 years. It's impossible for me.
And so, a year after the start of online-only play, Kenny S was benched. This was huge news. One of the legends of Counter-Strike was now inactive. Everyone held their breaths to see where Kenny would go next. Even though he was still under contract to G2, tons of other teams had to be sending him offers. Right?
Right now in CS, not that much. Even 0, I would say, because of the situation and what I told you. That's sad. But I'm not surprised. It is what it is, you know? And I want to give myself time. First of all, if someone or some teams might consider me at some point to give me a new challenge, new ambition.
After years of underperforming, no one wanted the AWP god. Kenny's talent made him a legend, but his inability to put in the hard work and develop himself in the new style of CS led to him getting surpassed by just about everyone and then supplanted by a new prodigy. But after receiving no offers from professional CS teams in 2020, in 2021, Kenny finally did something different. He started streaming.
No!
You know, when you're lagging, you have to play smart. Smart.
Buena, Navarro.
One more, AWP.
Smart. Smart.
J'arrive petit peu de ma gueule.
Incroyable. The first shot. Frérot. Nouma, toujours dans le cœur. What? What? I opened the knife! It's my first one! Nouma!
The move actually made a lot of sense. Kenny has always been a larger-than-life icon in CS and has a reputation for being kind to his fans and supporters.
Then we started speaking. The first time we ever met Kenny, I should have said to him, bro, can we get a picture? I've literally loved you for 2 years without you knowing my name, knowing my existence. Like, he said, sure, bro. He sat me down. We spoke for 50 minutes. We played FIFA together. Like, it was a super crazy experience.
And streaming has been going really well for Kenny. Thousands of viewers tune in to watch him play whatever game he chooses to play that day. A return to CS isn't off the table, but the obvious question, whether he'd ever consider going pro in Valorant, is obviously out there.
Right now, I'm not closing any doors. That's what I'm saying. I'm not taking decisions. Once again, I have time to think about things, and I have a list of priorities I have in my head. And what I'm saying is that Valorant is not my priority right now, but I enjoy playing the game, and saying that I close the door to Valorant would be really stupid of me.
Kenny S's impact on CS is undeniable. Sure, he may not be the winningest AWPer to ever play the game. He doesn't have the most major wins or the most prize money. But in the hearts and minds of his fans, his legend is greater than any trophy. Despite all the losses, Kenny inspired people. And those fans became pros who inspired him in turn.
He wasn't really practicing or like watching demos started to improve. And I said, Kenny, I'm going to take you to a room right now. I'm going to, because we had a special program. I said, we're going to watch demos together. We spent 4 or 5 hours watching demos, and it was one of the best nights of my life, man. Really, it was crazy. Then the next day he dropped 30 kills, and I take absolute 100% credit for that. So yeah, man, it was Kenny's a goat inside and outside the server, and I love him a lot, man.
So no matter what happens next, whether Kenny goes back to CS, switches to Valorant, or keeps on streaming, his true fans will be lining up to see where he works his AWP magic next.
Oh my god! Kenny's?
Man, I'm Kenny's. Let's go.